This is Christopher Kelly, managing producer of entertainment for NJ.com, joined on location,
live. Oh, we're always live.
With our food dude, Pete Genovese. Pete, explain to everybody where we are.
Well, first of all, you're smiling because I just bought you lunch, more or less, and everybody else on the team.
I'm not a cheap lunch date. That is, a lot of people will tell you that.
Glad we cleared that up.
We are at
Skylark, not the Skylark Diner, the Skylark Fine Diner and Lounge on Route 1 in Edison. It's the new, the first words out of our Brian Donahue, his mouth out in the parking lot. This is not a diner. So, of course, I shot a little video on Periscope, but you can see it on Twitter, Pete Genovese, on Brian, go back and forth on what makes a diner. It's sort of like the new wave diner. It's not your typical classic,
has a sort of upscale feel.
Yeah.
This is not
the airport. I remember when I first walked in there, it was like airport lounge, and then it sort of was born out because they have the times, and you want to know what the time is in New Delhi.
Yeah, of course.
That's important information. Shanghai, Moscow,
5:04 in Shanghai right now.
Yeah. So,
Pete, this is part of your search for NJ's Best Diner. We are in the semifinalist round, and you are visiting 40 diners throughout the state. This is number
30, more or less. Yeah.
30.
One more today. 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday, 4 on Monday, which will be I slip into a food coma. If you don't hear from me in a couple days, you'll know what happened. Next Wednesday, we announce the 10 finalists.
We will announce the 10 finalists next Wednesday, and then you're going to visit all 10 again, one more time.
Right, and we had with the Munchmobile.
With the Munchmobile.
Favorite wiener on wheels.
We'll have readers joining us.
5 readers who signed up, and they're that sold out quick. That sold out quicker than a Carnegie Hall concert. I mean, those
fewer spaces
quick.
too.
That too.
Pete, at each of these diners, you are ordering a lot of food.
Yes.
And trying all sorts of different things.
But we're doing 4 dishes at each place, and it's a combination of, we ask the owner, the waitresses, what I should order, your most popular dishes, and I'll throw in a few things. So it's 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner, and then sort of a wild card entry. And we're hitting the diner. And of course, the greatest thing about the diner, you can get anything all day.
Anytime.
All day. You want steak, prime rib at 9 a.m. You can get it. You want a French toast at midnight, you can get that too.
What's been the big surprise for you in terms of what you're discovering about New Jersey's diners? You've been going to these places for years, but what's new this time around?
Dude, we've had some, diners are like restaurants. You're going to get good meals and bad meals, no matter what your reputation is or with the reviews. So we've had some I think the food has probably been better than I expected. Not that I had a low opinion of diner food, but a lot of diner food I've had over the years. Now, I did a book on diners 20 years ago. I went to literally every diner in New Jersey. There's 600. Their diners aren't necessarily, they're great place to hang out. The waitresses call you honey. Hey, Chris, do you want the usual? They know what you order. But a lot of the food is just sort of run-of-the-mill that I've discovered over the years. But in the last couple of weeks, I've had some really good meals.
And it seems like the other thing we're discovering is diners, people sometimes think are almost, trapped in the 50s and eggs and apple
bacon,
pie. But they evolve. They evolve. They, like everything else, they evolve.
You can look at this, whether you argue the Skylark is a diner or not, they've had, lobster macaroni and cheese, rigatoni bolognese, the bulgogi pork chop, which is a Korean, it's not just a pork chop, it's a Korean spin on a pork chop, eggplant provençal. These are not diner type, they had one of the things we had was the Argentinian steak sandwich, which was really good. You're not going to find that at your, you generally associate that as a diner dish. So this is a diner that sort of pushes the envelope, and we've hit a couple of those on this trip so far. And then we get the little classic small town diners that do the, we had a diner in South Jersey, Angelo's, that had the bacon and eggs and the Virginia ham and the scrapple, which is an acquired taste. Everything from the pork. Everything from the pig except the oink is the classic.
To those folks at home who don't know,
it's a South Jersey thing.
Who don't know what scrapple is, Google
everything from the pig except the oink.
Google the scrapple, and you will be properly disgusted, as you should be. Pete, is there a style of diner you prefer? You prefer the old style chrome and
I like all, and I got to keep an even mind, obviously.
You are fair.
Diners come in all shapes and sizes. We went to a little small town, 10, 15 seat diners, and then we have something like this. And this is, we've hit diners that are twice the size. The Chit Chat Diner in Hackensack, which is this. You wouldn't think it's a diner, even from the outside. It looks like a Best Buy or something. It's a huge place. But then again, they're one of these diners that push the food envelope, like the Skylark, like Tops in East Newark. They sort of get things that are just off the not off the wall, but creative sort of twists. You know, menus the size of telephone books. But again, and classic diners and everything in between. But you know, they're all even here. And I'm not judging architecture, basically. I mean, style, atmosphere, tradition comes into it, but really most of the score is the food. How good is the food? And that's what's going to really determine who gets into the finalist round.
Okay, now every diner, pretty much every diner you've been to has
cheesecake.
Have you become? Yeah, we're both going to try this here.
Plain
have
cheesecake.
You become? This is a plain cheesecake.
Raspberry.
I assume with a little raspberry swirl. I assume you've become a bit of a connoisseur over the last few weeks. What?
Well, every diner owner, I don't think a diner owner or waitress has not said, we make the best cheesecake. And I'll say, yeah, that's what the person last diner said. No, but ours is actually better. And the manager here said the same thing. I mean, I like the creamy cheesecake.
This is a creamy one.
Yeah,
You've had creamier, yeah.
Yeah.
This is creamier than the pumpkin cheesecake.
You know, it's a solid cheesecake. But I think the one essential ingredient that what makes a classic cheesecake is the Philly cream cheese. You've got to have the Philly cream cheese. It's the brand.
And you can taste
Philly
it.
cheese. I think so. It makes for a creamier. I think the creamier cheesecakes have the Philly, and I think pretty much everybody that we ran into who had cheesecake on this trip has, you know, what do you make it out of? Philly cream cheese. It's like,
so if you're using the Costco brands,
not going to work. Not going to, unless you put extra eggs or something to make up for the balance. But yeah, you're not a diner. No self-respecting diner doesn't have cheesecake. And homemade. It can't be from Restaurant Depot. It's got to be made in your kitchen.
A tough judge is visiting the 40 semifinalist diners on the search for NJ's Best Diner. Pete, once again, next Tuesday we will announce
next Wednesday,
10
finalists.
We will announce the 10 finalists, and then beginning on Friday.
Is it Friday or Friday? Yeah, I think so. Whatever the schedule says.
Check
Friday.
the calendar. Check NJ.com. You will visit
2 a day.
2 more of the
5
finalists, the 10 finalists. You will visit them, and then right before
the Friday before
December
Christmas.
17th, we're going to announce the winners. So
yes.
thereabouts.
Yeah, we will barge through the doors of the winning diner unannounced, just like we did for Best Bars and Best Burgers, and
maybe order some cheesecake.
I think the drinks might be on the house that night, or the cheesecake might be on the house. Who knows? But
we're not asking for freebies.
No, of course not. Yes. But that'll be the Best Diner in New Jersey in about 2 weeks.
So much to look forward to on NJ.com. Until then, Pete, you got another diner to get
Yes,
on
I
to.
do. More work.
I got to get back to the office. This is Christopher Kelly.
Pete Genovese.